everyone. Welcome to your practice today. Thank you so much for joining me, for being here, and for taking this time for yourself. A few things before we get started. One is we're going to want to have two blocks or two props that are block shaped, block height, two things that are about the same height that you can use. You're going to want to find a strap or a belt or a scarf, whatever you have nearby, something long that you can hold on to. And if you want to practice along with my playlist today, I'll include that in the notes of the video. And when we start moving, you can just hit play on the playlist. Just one more reminder and a thank you for all of you that have donated. And a reminder that these classes are donation-based, so whatever the class is worth to you, if you could just donate a little bit to keep them going, that would be greatly appreciated. So we'll get started. You can settle yourself in. Finding a comfortable seat for yourself, whatever that is for you in this moment. And letting your eyes close. And bringing your attention right away to the area around your heart. And actually lay your hands on your heart, letting your palms rest on the chest. And seeing if with each breath you can start to find some expansion in this area of the body and a little bit of softness as well. So we're all going through a lot right now, and sometimes any anxiety or stress or fear that we are experiencing can start to express itself physically. And often when we are experiencing fear or anxiety, we start to kind of curve in, kind of collapse in the chest space. Yeah, it's a physical way of kind of protecting our hearts. But seeing if during this practice we can start to find some more expansion in this area of the body, not just to physically open this area of the body, but to open the energetic pathways of the heart. Seeing if that can affect our spirits. And keeping your hands on your heart, we'll chant one Om, breathing in together. Gently let your left hand come down onto your left knee with your palm facing open. Keeping the eyes closed, you can bring your index and middle finger and just rest them on your third eye. We were talking about opening up the channels of energy in the body. We're going to practice a pranayama, a breath exercise to clear out those channels. So taking a big breath in through your nose. As you exhale, use your thumb to block off your right nostril and exhaling through the left. Breathing in through the left nostril. Using your fourth finger, closing off that nostril, opening up the right and exhaling. Breathing in through the right. Closing off the right, opening up the left, exhaling. Breathing in through the left. Closing off the left, opening up the right, exhaling. Breathing in through the right. Closing the right. Opening the left. Exhaling. And continuing like this on your own. Finding your own pace, your own rhythm, your own breath. And the next time that you breathe out through your left nostril will be the end of this practice. Then you can just let both arms relax. But take your time. Make sure you finish off whatever round you're on. Gently, you can let the eyes float open. With a breath in, send the arms up to the sky, lengthening through the sides of the body, finding a high prayer. As you exhale, bring the fingertips down to meet your sternum, your breastbone. And then like you're peeling open the heart, reaching the arms out wide, letting the heart float open. With an exhale, give yourself a big hug, rounding the chin towards your chest. Again, like this, opening the arms, peeling open through the front of the body. Exhale, giving yourself that big hug, chin melting to the chest. One more time like this, opening up the front of the body, breathing in. Big exhale, giving yourself that hug. And coming up to a long spine, letting the hands relax down towards your knees. And take your time to crawl out onto all fours. Now, as you get settled in on all fours, make sure that your two props are near the top of the mat so that when you need them, they'll be there waiting for you. Planting the palms under the shoulders, knees under the hips. With a breath in, it's a cow pose. Belly softens toward the mat. Head and tail float. Exhale, scooping the navel to the spine, chin to the chest. Again, like this, heavy belly. Heart reaching forward. Drawing the navel up, letting the back arch. One more time. Cow pose, heart peels open. Exhaling, cat pose, scapulas widen. Bringing yourself back to a neutral spine, head forward, tail back, and it's a child's pose. Let your knees walk wide, softening your hips all the way back to the heels. Let the forehead rest on the earth, or you can take your hands under your head if the floor is a little far away to reach. With a breath in, starting to walk the hands back, rolling up through the spine, maybe paralleling the legs a little bit more. Taking the hands back behind you, fingertips to the earth, heart rising, puffing open. With an exhale, crawling yourself back into that child's pose. Inhale, crawling the hands back, rolling up, fingertips to the mat behind you. This time, maybe the hips start to lift off of the heels. Exhaling, hips to the mat, crawling yourself back out, finding your child's pose. Last time, hands walking back, rolling up through the spine, fingertips back behind you. The hips can lift a little, or the hips can lift a lot. Breathing in, hips to the heels, this time crawling out onto all fours, setting yourself up even. With a breath in, tucking your toes. With a breath out, it's downward facing dog, hips reaching to the sky. Give yourself some time to shift, to wake up this downward facing dog shape. Giving the hips a little sway, the heels a little tread.
Breathing in deeply, and then find some stillness in this downward facing dog. Feeling the heart with each exhale melting toward the thighs. Breathing in, breathing out. It's a plank pose, rolling yourself out long, inhaling. You can lower the knees to the mat or keep the legs straight, elbows bend by your ribs as you lower down to your belly. Pressing into the palms, baby cobra, shoulders sliding down the back. Downward facing dog on your exhale. With a breath in, right leg reaches toward the sky. Knee toward the nose, soft step forward between the two hands. Lowering the left knee, keep the back toes tucked under here. And sending both arms to the sky for a low crescent lunge. Letting the hips get heavy. Breathing in. As you exhale, again, send the fingertips down to meet your sternum. And like you're pulling the heart open, let the arms reach wide. Taking the arms down by your sides, exhaling. Arms high, back leg lengthens. You're finding a high lunge. Firing up those legs right away. Big breath in. As you exhale, hands come down. Take the blocks out under your shoulders. Shifting your weight forward onto the right foot. It's a supported warrior three pose. So the heart is lifted. Heart is reaching away. Left heel is stretching back in opposition. Soft step back, hands to the floor. Low lunge. Downward facing dog. Exhaling. Plank pose, rolling out long. Breath in. Again, straight legs or bent legs, lowering down to your belly. Pointing the toes, heart rises, baby cobra. Traveling back, downward facing dog on your exhale. Breathing in, left leg reaches to the sky. Scooping the knee in toward the nose, and it's a soft step forward between your hands. Lowering the back knee, keeping the back toes tucked under as both arms rise to the sky for your low crescent lunge. Shoulders are soft. Inhaling. With your exhale, fingertips drip down to your sternum. Peeling the heart open, widening through the front of the body. Arms released by your sides on an exhale. Sweeping the arms high, extending the back leg. High lunge. Right hip, right back thigh, right rib spiraling forward. Hands coming down, finding the props under your hands, shifting your way forward to a supported Virabhadrasana 3. Feel free to bend the bottom knee if this is too much. Big breath in. This time it's a forward fold. Right foot steps down. You can release the hands toward the earth. Bend the knees here as much as you need so you can find a heavy upper body. Big breath in. With a breath out, knees softening, rolling yourself up to stand. Sweeping the arms high for a prayer. Big breath in. Hands connecting at your heart. Big breath out. Tadasana. Stepping the feet together. Palms open. Heart expanding. Arms reach high for a prayer. Breath in. Folding forward over your legs. Breath out. Right foot steps back into a lunge. Inhaling. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Exhaling. Plank pose with a breath in. You can lower with straight or bent legs to the earth. Pointing the toes, finding a cobra, shoulders down the back. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Right leg reaches high, breath in. Foot forward between the hands on a breath out. Lowering the back knee, keeping the toes tucked, arms rising for your low crescent lunge. Fingertips dripping down to your sternum. Heart peels open, big breath in. Releasing the arms, breath out. High lunge, sweeping it up. Inhale. This time it's warrior three pose, sweeping the arms back, reaching the heart forward. You can also bring the hands down to the blocks if you need more support. Feet together, high prayer, reaching it up and away. Hands meet at your heart, exhaling. Reaching the arms back up for your prayer, breath in. Folding forward as you breathe out. Left foot steps back, inhaling. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Plank pose, long spine, lowering with straight or bent legs to the earth. Point the toes, floating the heart open. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Left leg reaches high, breath in. Foot steps forward on a breath out. Back knee down, keeping the toes tucked, arms rising for your low crescent lunge. Fingertips dripping down to the sternum. Peel it open, big breath in. Releasing the arms, exhaling. Sweeping it up, high lunge, breath in. Shifting your way forward, warrior three pose as you breathe out. Feel the heart reaching forward away from the back foot. Stepping the feet together, high prayer, breath in. Hands connected to your heart, exhaling. Send it back up, breath in. Melting forward over the legs, breath out. Right foot steps back, inhaling. Down dog on your exhale. Plank it out, breath in. You can add a chaturanga or you can lower down to the floor. Lifting the heart, up dog or cobra. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Right leg high, inhale. Foot between the hands, exhaling. Back knee down, keep the toes tucked, arms rise, breath in. Fingertips dipping down to the sternum, breath out. Opening the heart, peeling it open, inhaling. Arms release, exhale. High lunge, sweep it up, breath in. Warrior three pose, shooting your way onto your right leg. Feet together, arms reach high, breath in. Hands meet at your heart, exhale. Stretch it up high, breathing in. Melting forward, breathing out. Left foot steps back, inhaling. Down dog, exhaling. Plank pose, breath in. Lowering halfway or all the way to the mat. Urdhva Mukha, heart peels open. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Left leg high, breath in. Foot steps forward, breath out. Back knee down, keeping the toes tucked. Arms rise, breathing in. Fingertips to the sternum, breathing out. Peel the heart open, inhaling. Arms softening down, exhaling. High lunge, circling the arms toward the sky. Shift it forward, warrior three. Exhale. Feet together, arms high, breath in. Hands connect to the heart, breath out. Reaching it back up, inhaling. Leading with the heart, folding forward. Right foot steps back, breath in. This time it's plank pose, lowering halfway or all the way down. Heart lifts, breath in. Downward facing dog. Breath out. Everyone stay here. Big inhale. Big exhale. Let the knees soften. Look forward. Step, step, or hop your feet to your hands. Long, flat back. Ardha Uttanasana. Folding forward. Exhale. Arms rise for a prayer. Hands through the heart. Folding right back over. Breathing out. Left foot steps back. Inhaling. Directly back through your plank. Lowering to the earth. Heart rises. Inhaling. Down dog. Exhaling. Softening the knees. Looking forward, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. Long, flat back. Folding forward. Uttanasana. Arms rise for your prayer. Hands connect at your heart. Tadasana. Arms by your sides. Palms open. Utkatasana. Sit your way back into your chair pose. Feel the inner thighs spiraling in and back as the heart reaches out past the fingertips. Hands through a prayer, folding over your legs. Long spine, breath in. Bend your knees. Plant your palms. You can step to plank or you can hop right back into chaturanga. Lifting the heart and traveling your way back. Downward facing dog. With an inhale, the right leg stretches high. Step that foot forward. It's Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1 pose. Left heel to the mat, both arms reaching high. Feeling an openness across the front of the chest. With an exhale, the fingertips dip down to the sternum. Peeling open through the front of the body. Big inhale. Let your hands come behind your back, interlacing the fingers. Reach the knuckles back towards your back heel, shoulder blades drawing in, folding forward, devotional warrior, exhaling. Both shoulders sneaking inside that right knee. Gently release the hands to the floor on an exhale, and then take your hands for a walk to the left, turning your toes to face the side of the mat. Pressing into the fingertips or taking blocks under your hands, long spine. With a breath out, palms to the earth, head heavy off of your neck. With an inhale, spin yourself to face the back of the mat, bending your left knee, low lunge, stepping directly back to your plank, moving through your vinyasa. You have a down dog facing the back of your mat. Left leg reaches high, inhaling. Big step forward for your warrior 1, grounding the back foot, sweeping the arms high. Right inner thigh rotating in, right rib spinning forward. With a breath out, drip the fingertips down to the sternum. Let the heart peel open, arms wide. Exhale, releasing the arms, take them behind you. Interlacing the fingers, knuckles reaching back, heart puffing open. Exhale, bowing forward. Bhakti Virabhadrasana. Left hip drawing back into that hip socket. This time, keep the arms clasped. Gently start to spin your left toes in, so you're turning to face the side of the mat, letting your head drop and your knuckles reaching away. Feeling the heels of the hands drawing as close together as you can. With a breath out, gently release the hands down to the floor. Turning to the front of the mat, right knee bend, big inhale, plank it out, take it through your vinyasa. Inhaling, right leg high. Stepping forward to that warrior 1, back heel down, arms reaching to the sky. Fingertips dipping down to the sternum. Peel it open, big breath in. Hands connect behind the back as you exhale, opening the heart, breathing in, melting inside your right thigh as you breathe out. Press into the feet, lifting up into warrior 2. Left arm stretching back, right arm reaching forward. Feeling the hips getting heavy, opening wide through the heart. Peaceful warrior, right arm tips to the sky. Big breath in. Circling the hands down around your right foot for a lunge. Walk your hands to the left, turn to face the side of the mat. Now come up onto your fingertips. Reach the heart forward. Send the right arm forward and up. And let it bring you all the way up to stand. Right hand comes behind the head. Left arm comes around to the low back. Now you might be able to catch the fingertips together behind the back, but if that's not you, you can hold onto your shirt, or you can just let the hands relax wherever they fall. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, spin the right toes forward, bending that right knee for a variation of warrior 2. Right foot is grounding down. See if that right elbow can tip a little bit higher. Inhaling. Exhale, releasing the arms, right elbow to the right thigh for extended side angle. You can also take the fingertips down to the mat if you want to take the shape a little bit deeper. Left shoulder blade hugging into the back. With an exhale, take the left arm, circle it down past your face, circle it all the way up to the sky, lengthening both legs, shifting into triangle pose. Feeling the expansion of the heart all the way out through the fingertips. Pressing into the feet, reverse your triangle, send your right arm to the sky. Circle the hands down to the floor, low lunge, stepping right back to a plank, moving through your vinyasa. Left leg high, inhaling, big step forward, exhaling, warrior one, arms high. Fingertips dip down to the sternum, elbows, fingers peeling open, hands behind your back with an exhale. Knuckles reaching back, heart stretching forward, melting inside the left thigh. Exhaling. Pressing into the feet, lifting up and around, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Letting the hips sink, letting the energy of the heart expand out through the fingertips. Peaceful warrior, tipping the left arm high. Circling the hands down to the floor, low lunge. Walk your hands to your right, turn your toes to face the side of the mat. Coming up onto the fingertips right away, long spine. Left arm stretches forward. Let the left arm draw you all the way up to stand. Left hand behind the head. Right arm to the low back. Maybe walking those fingertips together. Maybe holding onto your shirt. Breathing in. Exhale. Left toes turn out. Left knee bends. Sink it really low. Pressing into the feet, send that left elbow a little bit higher. Inhaling. Releasing the arms into extended side angle. Either elbow to the thigh or fingertips to the earth. Inhaling. Exhaling, right arm down past your face. Lengthening the left leg, shifting your way into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Heart is floating up toward the right fingertips. Pressing into the 2 feet, lifting up and back, reversing your triangle pose. Circling the hands down to the floor for a lunge. Stepping your way right back through your plank, through your vinyasa. All the way back, down dog. Right leg high, inhale. Step it forward for that warrior one. Breath in. Fingertips to the sternum. Breath out. Opening the heart. Inhaling. Hands behind the back. Exhaling. Heart opens. Knuckles reaching back, melting inside the right thigh. Breath out. Release the arms. Lift it up and turn all the way to the back of the mat for your warrior 2 pose. Peaceful left arm high. Circle the hands down around your left foot. Walk your hands to your right. Turn to face the side of the room. Coming up onto the fingertips. Right arm forward. It floats you all the way up to stand. Catching the hands behind the back. Right toes spin forward. Bending the right knee. Right elbow floats. Inhaling. Side angle. Elbow to the thigh. Or maybe your fingertips reach down to the earth. Now you can stay here, or if you want to play with a half bind, taking the left arm behind the back. If you want to play with full bind, right arm sliding under the right thigh. Heart continuing to spiral open. Now you can stay with the bind if you have it, playing with lengthening the right leg for a bound triangle pose. If you don't have the bind, let the arms be free in your triangle. Again, if you have the bind, try to keep it right toes turning in, turning to face the side of your mat in your bound prasarita. Again, if you don't have the bind, arms down, palms to the earth. Wherever you are, start to heel toe your feet together so they're coming toward the center of your mat. If you're bound, you're rising up into bird of paradise. Right leg lifts and then maybe starts to extend. If you don't have the bind, it's tree pose. Sole of the right foot connects into the left inner thigh. Hands find a prayer at your heart. Wherever you are, take a look over your right shoulder. If you're bound, release the bind. Right foot to the top of the mat. Half moon pose. Right fingers down. Left side body floats. Heart rising up toward the left fingertips. Left hand down. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Give everything a little shake out here. Heel toeing your feet open this time, about as wide as your mat. Heels in, toes out, coming down to a squat. Hips melting toward the heels. Hands can connect in a prayer at your heart. If your heels are off the mat, that's fine. The most important thing is that the hips are really heavy, and then in opposition, the heart is really opening. It's bursting forward. Hands to the mat, stretching the legs, heel toeing your feet back together. Long, flat back, inhale. Bend your knees, plant your palms, stepping, hopping, floating your way back through your vinyasa. Or stepping your way right back to a downward facing dog. You can leave the vinyasa out if you need. Left leg high, inhale. Foot steps forward, finding that warrior one, reaching it high. Fingertips drip down to your sternum, peeling it open, inhaling. Hands behind the back, exhaling. Reach the knuckles back as the heart stretches forward, bowing down. Head releases from the neck. Release the arms, send the right arm forward and up, turning you to the back of the mat for your warrior two pose. Peaceful, right arm high, inhale. Cartwheeling the hands down to the floor, finding your low lunge, walking your hands to your left, turning to face the side of the mat. Long, flat back, inhale. Left arm reaches forward and up, bringing you up to stand. Left hand behind the head, right arm around, catching the fingertips or catching the shirt. Spinning the left toes forward, left knee bends for this warrior two variation. Left elbow gets a little bit lighter. Inhaling, releasing into your extended side angle. Elbow to the thigh, maybe fingertips to the earth. Maybe that right arm is long, or maybe there's a half bind or a play with a full bind. Making sure that if you've played with the bind, that it's in service of sending the heart even more open. If you have that bind, pressing into the left foot for your bound triangle pose. If not, letting the arms sweep wide for your traditional triangle pose. Again, if you're bound, keeping the bind as you turn the left toes in for your bound prasarita, or letting the arms go for your prasarita padottanasana. Head is heavy. Breathing in. Wherever you are, start to heel toe your feet together toward the center of your mat. Either rising up with the left leg into bird of paradise, or rising up into a tree pose, placing the sole of the left foot into your right inner thigh. Heart is opening. Everyone take a look over your left shoulder. Big step to the top of the mat. Ardha Chandrasana, left foot down, left fingertips down, right side body expanding and opening. Maybe heart and eyes lifting up toward the right hand. It's a forward fold at the top of the mat. Right hand down, stepping the feet together. Give it a little shake out. Now you might take one more squat, or you might play with a crow pose here. Hands to the floor in front of you. Knees wrapping around your upper arm bones, starting to shift your weight forward toward your palms. It might just be a play with shifting the weight, or maybe there's a moment of flight. Wherever you are, it's your journey back to a downward facing dog. So there might be a vinyasa that you move through. You might just take a nice step back to that down dog. And taking a few deep breaths when you arrive, letting the heart melt toward the thighs. Right leg rises, inhaling. Foot steps forward between the hands, lowering the back knee, keeping the toes tucked, arms rising for your low crescent lunge. Fingertips dipping down to the heart, peeling open, big inhale, releasing the arms, exhaling. High lunge, swing it up to the sky, breath in, soften the back knee, left knee to your chest, rising up to balance on the right foot. Staying here, holding on to the knee, or taking a peace sign with your left fingers and wrapping it around your left big toe. Right arm stretches to the sky. And if you have that toe, maybe sending the leg out in front of you. Keeping the sternum really wide, collarbones opening. Keeping your left leg wherever it is, send the left arm to the sky. Big breath in here. Exhale, softening the left knee. Keep the arms by your ears as you send the left leg back, heart forward for another warrior 3 pose. With the arms forward, it's a little heavier, so keep the heart lifted. High lunge, big step back with the left toes, arms to the sky. Let your right arm get heavy. Take your right hand behind you. Hook the hand behind the left thigh or outside the left hip, reaching up through those left fingertips, and then using the right hand to spiral back over the right shoulder. Big inhale here. Left elbow down to the right thigh. Taking a prayer at your heart and letting the heart rise up into the thumbs. You can lower the back knee if you need a little extra balance support. Or you can play with the arms, bringing the arms into a big T shape. Or you might play with a half bind or a full bind. Wherever you are, crown of the head, reaching out past the top of your mat. Heart spiraling up past your right shoulder. Hands to the earth, sliding the left knee forward, tucking it behind the right ankle, hips releasing it to the floor. Sweeping the arms high for a prayer, big breath in. And it's a twist over your right shoulder as you breathe out. Sitting bones are heavy. Collarbones are wide. With a breath out, it's a counter twist. Hands to the left, let yourself release. Rolling up to sit. Feet to the mat in front of you, hands down behind you. Breath in, breath out, hips and heart to the sky. Big inhale here. Hips to the mat, exhaling. Cross your ankles, making your way back through a vinyasa, or stepping directly back to your down dog. And a few deep breaths. Left leg reaching high, big breath in. Stepping that foot forward, back knee to the mat, toes stay tucked, arms rising for your low crescent lunge. Fingertips dipping down to your sternum. Peel the heart open one more time. Breath in. Arms released by your sides. Breath out. Sweep it high for your high lunge. Inhaling. Bend the back knee, right knee to the chest. One big exhale to lift. Again, either staying here or finding your peace sign around your right big toe. Left arm high, wherever you are. And you stay here, or you send the leg out in front of you. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, hand to big toe pose. Right leg stays where it is. Right arm floats to the sky. Big inhale, softening the right knee, keeping the arms by the ears, shooting the heel back. Virabhadrasana 3. Light under the heart. Big soft step back to a high lunge. Inhaling, releasing the left arm, exhaling. Take the arm behind you, finding the outside of the hip or the thigh. Right fingertips getting really light, and then using the left hand, twisting back over the left shoulder. Shoulders right on top of those hips. Right elbow dips down to the thigh. Prayer at the heart and floating the heart up into the thumbs. You can stay here, or you can play with whatever variation you found on the first side. Making sure that wherever you are, the breath is long and free. Hands to the earth, drawing the right knee in, tucking it behind the left foot, and sending the hips down to the mat behind you. Staying heavy through the hips, arms reach high, breathing in. And it's a twist over your left shoulder as you breathe out. Soft face, soft eyes. Counter twist, hands over to the right. Let your head drop. Rolling yourself up to sit. Feet down in front of you, hands down behind you. Big breath in. Hips to the sky, heart to the sky. Exhaling. If it feels okay, maybe let your head dip back. Big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, big exhale. Hips to the earth, crossing your ankles, rolling over your shins. One last vinyasa. Big breath in your downward facing dog. As you exhale, it's child's pose. Melting your way back to your heels. So feeling the forehead really heavy here on the earth, but also feeling the weight of the heart and feeling a softness around this area of the body. Letting it melt toward the mat. Softening not just the physical heart, but the energy of the heart. Softening all of the pathways for the energy and the breath, so that this heart space becomes supple and open. With a breath in, rising back up onto hands and knees. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog on an exhale. With a breath in, the right leg reaches toward the sky. Scoop the knee in toward the nose and then gently lay the shin down onto the floor. Taking the left knee, bring it forward and tuck it behind the right knee so the inner thighs are hooking together. Walk the feet apart and then start to send the hips down and back into the space between the heels. Now your hips might easily come down to the floor here, but they might not, in which case you have props nearby. You can sit up on top of props. You can stack a few cushions or blocks, whatever you have nearby. And once you've found a place where the hips are really stable here, the spine is long, sending the arms up to the sky. Left hand comes behind the head. Right arm circles around to the low back. Now again, you might be able to walk the fingertips together here, but if that's not the case, grab your strap, your belt, your scarf, whatever you have nearby, take it in your left hand, and then reaching back, holding wherever you can reach with your right hand. Letting your eyes find a soft point of focus out in front of you, or maybe letting them close. Seeing if your weight can be even between the right sitting bone and the left sitting bone. As you exhale, releasing the strap or the hands, whatever you have there, and give your shoulders a little shake out. Take your time, crawling yourself out onto hands and knees. You can unravel the legs and give your hips a little shake, wagging the tail from side to side. And we'll all meet back in one last downward facing dog. Heart melting towards your thighs. Breathing in, left leg reaches high. Drawing the knee toward the nose and then softly laying the shin down to the floor. Right knee hooks in behind the left knee. Walking the feet apart and again sending the hips down and back. Either sitting evenly on the sitting bones on the earth or taking whatever props you need. Feel free to make a little tower for yourself out of props if you need to. Sending the arms high, big breath in. This time, right hand behind the head. Left arm circling around to the low back. Taking a prop between the fingers if you need, or letting the hands connect for Gomukhasana. Noticing what's going on with the head here. Noticing if that top arm is kind of tipping the head forward. See if the back of the head can press into that upper arm just slightly. So the chin is parallel with the mat. On your next exhale, releasing the arms, shaking out the shoulders here. And you can move any props out of the way. Sit down on your hips, send your legs out in front of you. Shake out the legs a little bit here. Sitting up high on the sitting bones, if you need to take a pillow or a folded up blanket under your hips to give yourself a little extra lift, Feel free to do that for yourself. Sending the arms high, breath in, and then reaching out long along your legs, melting into Paschimottanasana, your forward fold. Letting each exhale be an opportunity to soften. Rolling yourself back up to sit. Inhaling. Moving yourself to the top of your mat. And take those two props, have them nearby so that you can grab them when you need them. Feet on the floor, knees opening for your Baddha Konasana. Holding on to the ankles, long spine, sending the heart forward, reaching it long, and then letting yourself round and fold over your legs. So we've done so much opening of the heart, the chest today. So taking this opportunity to let it kind of roll in a little bit, to let the back of the body open. Rolling yourself up to sit with a breath in. Hands to the mat behind you. Gently scooch the hips forward towards your heels. And then taking your props with you as you roll down onto your back. Setting up for a reclined Baddha Konasana here. Setting the props underneath your knees or underneath your thighs. Let the head rest on the earth. Arms down by your sides, palms open. And with the palms open, feel the heads of the upper arm bones melting into the earth behind you. Seeing how that can draw open the sternum, the collarbones. Feeling yourself open and free in the heart. Feel free to stay in this reclined goddess pose for as long as you'd like. If at any point you'd like to move into Shavasana, you can use the hands to draw the legs together and send the legs out long. Whichever shape you decide to rest in, let it be a nice long rest, giving yourself this time to recover, to let the entire practice kind of soak in to your body, to your breath, to your spirit. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.